that responsibility extends to the platforms where so much of this activity now takes place. Well, Jessica González is an attorney and racial justice advocate who co-founded Change the Terms, which serves to disrupt online hate. Thank you for joining us here on BBC News. I don't know how much of the detail you know about this story and Marcus Rashford and some of the attention he's gained, whether negatively on social media, but what do you make of it when you read it?
Well, sadly, I'm not surprised at all. At Change the Terms and at Free Press, we've been tracking how an international network of very sophisticated white supremacist actors are using social media platforms to organize, to recruit, to fundraise for their causes, and to organize harassment campaigns and even violence using these sites. So it's no surprise, unfortunately, that Marcus Rashford, as a black man who's in the public eye, is receiving a hate and harassment campaign. We see this, of course, aimed disproportionately at Black people and people of color, women of color. Here in the U.S., of course, a number of our elected officials, women of color, face hate and harassment campaigns on a weekly basis. And unfortunately, social media sites like Facebook have failed to live up to the commitments they've made to us users to stop hate, to ban white supremacists, and to prevent hate and harassment campaigns, but also organized violence. I mean, here in the United States, we saw an insurrection organized over social media just a few weeks ago. So the problem is serious. It disproportionately harms people of color, and it's a threat to democracy itself.
Is it social media companies' jobs to do that, to effectively, well, some people would say censor. I mean, others would say, no, let me rephrase that. Do they have a moral role in stopping this sort of abuse online? Is there a moral argument there?
Well, I would say yes, and that's why Change the Terms came into existence. We're led by women and people of color who have faced disproportionate abuse from the organizing that's happening on online platforms. So platforms have a decision to make. Do they want to play a role in oppression? Do they want to play a role in racial hatred and harm? Or do they want to play a role on the right side of history and disrupt this? We saw just months ago that the UN found that Facebook played a contributing role in the genocide in Myanmar. Do we want to have our social media platforms replicating harm, oppression, and mass atrocities? I think not.
Jessica, I introduced you as your organisation is disrupting online hate. How on earth do you go about doing that then?
Well, Change the Terms has a set of model policies that we think that online platforms ought to adopt to ban hateful activities and to bring greater transparency and robustness to the content moderation system. What happens inside of these companies is often a black box. We don't understand what's being taken down and why. We don't understand why things are being left up. We need much greater transparency. We need some more process. And frankly, these companies need to invest much more deeply in their content moderation. It can't all happen via automated systems. We actually need humans that understand the language and that have deep understanding of the cultural context in the places in which they're moderating content to help make these decisions. Otherwise, they're going to miss dog whistles and other tactics that sophisticated white supremacist networks are using to recruit and normalize harassment and violence.
Okay, Jessica González, thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you.